Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me on this episode of Ask on Tricia. I have a great guest for you today. I met this guy at a stage play here in Los Angeles, California, from Don B. Welch's production. And when I saw him performing on that stage, I just clicked with him more than he'll ever know. This actor, Mr. Danny D. Lloyd, has won numerous awards for his performances, and most recently the NAACP Image Award for Theater as Best Supporting Actor. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, the talented one, Mr. Danny D. Lloyd. Hi, Danny. How are you?
Hey, Patricia, Sister Tone. Tap, 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 tap in. It's great to see you again.
You know, I have loved you from the first time I laid eyes on you. I don't know if you know that, because your performance in that play, I can't even remember which one because I've seen you in several, but the very first one, I was just breathtaking. And so I just say you are phenomenal. And I
appreciate that. And I appreciate you.
I think I had the balls to come up to you and tell you that I thought you were the next Samuel L. Jackson, and I think you just kind of laughed in my face.
No, I remember it well. What a high compliment.
It's rare when I see a talent of that caliber, you know, locally, and I'm like just blown away. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is going places. He is really, really going places.
Well, thank you for that. And another highlight of my career was having the opportunity to work with you. I believe it was Truancy Kids, man. What an awesome story that was. And we just had such a great time shooting that. And you're the consummate professional. And, you know, I've been in this business quite a long time, and just working with you, everything was to perfection. So I appreciate you. And it's been just an overwhelming, great friendship ever since. So thanks for having me on.
Well, I thank you because, you know, like I said, when I meet talented people, I just want to work with them. And sometimes I'd be so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, I'm at such a low level compared to what they are used to. But I get up the guts to ask, and lo and behold, you said yes. Yeah, Truancy Kid is actually one of my top 3 short films that I've liked about my own work, you know, and it's because of you.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you so kindly.
I also wanted to find out, how long have you been acting? You know, how long, let the people know how long you've been doing theater and acting and commercials. You do it all. So how long have you been doing this?
Well, you know, I started in the 3rd grade. I did my first play in the 3rd grade, and then I was supposed to go on to a School of the Arts for high school. But my mother put a stop to that. And so I started really getting back into acting in the church. 2000, 2001, we would do these church skits and things like that. And so I remember what I liked about it was the wardrobe, the transformation of absolutely becoming somebody else. You know, I've done Martin Luther King and those kind of holiday type of things. And I was in at the end of the session, one of the mothers in the group said, "Baby, you missed your calling. And it's never too late to be what you might have been," you know. So came on down to LA from San Bernardino and got placed in a film. And the love and the passion I had after that shoot, it was an all-time high. One of the actors there said, "Well, why don't you just move back to LA and feel like that every day?" And so ever since then, I've been pursuing it kind of in and out, and it's just been a whirlwind effect, meeting new people and learning new things, and actually getting in, you know, diving into the arts the way I have. And, you know, it just appeared to be a calling to me, which another deacon told me. It wasn't a gift for me, it was a calling. It was something I was supposed to do. And so I just followed what God said.
Well, I think it was both, because You can be called to things and not have the gift. You have the gift and the calling, because that's just how I feel. You know, a lot of people, they get called to certain jobs or careers and have these, they say, intimate feelings about, like, people who want to sing. They're called to sing, but some of them can't sing. You are gifted. You know, I'm just, you
Thank you
know,
so kindly.
I ain't trying to insult people,
I
but
absolutely just,
it's the example that came in my mind.
yeah, yeah. I absolutely love it, and every opportunity I get to do it, I just savor that moment because you never know when it's your last time. So I just put my all and everything into, bringing the character to life and portraying it the
Well, you
best way
do it
possible.
effortlessly. You do it with so much ease, and you know, and just working with you on my short film, it was, I was just amazed because you knew your lines. You didn't come
Yeah,
in there with an ego, and you, if you had a
right,
question, you just came and stood beside me and say, now, what do you think about this or that? And I'm like,
right.
hey,
Well, yeah,
I'm
getting in,
following you.
you got to give the director, producer, writer what they want. And if you have the opportunity to have the writer on set, you can just get in.
Yeah.
You have to do the work. I have to do my backstory, figure out who it is, and maybe give you something you didn't think about. And then Danny leaves, and the character comes within, and you become the character. That way, you don't have to act; you just become. And so, I like doing that and just escaping and becoming someone else. It's just an all-time great feeling for me, and I love doing it every opportunity I get. Thank you for that one.
Yeah, well, I enjoy watching you, and like I said, it's just amazing work that you do, and I hope that people will, hear this episode and just start Googling Danny D. Lloyd, because you have a talent that is just far above and beyond a lot of actors that I've seen. And
Well,
I just thank you for listening to those deacons in the church, and
you gotta have
them,
God.
yes, and them realizing that you have a
Yeah,
gift.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
so important. That is so important. So I'm going to ask you, along your journey, what
Mm-hmm.
is the best advice that you've ever given someone?
Goodbye. That was some great advice right there. But don't let the doorknob hit you. No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, I've always been some form of leader. I've always cared about humans and always tried to help. So advice is yours to accept or reject. And when it comes to matters of the heart and someone you really love or life and death, then you have to be very particular about how you give this advice. And this just brings to mind a long time ago, I have a best friend. And of course, he was in love. And he absolutely did everything possible for this woman. And it wasn't perceived back, like, and we recognize certain behaviors. And so she had these behaviors of disappearing for days. And so, to make a long story short, we found
Wow.
that she had a drug problem.
Oh,
And so I had to tell him, it's not worth it. And
yeah.
so he was kind of on the verge of wanting to get a gun and go and kick in doors and things because we start thinking it's another guy.
Right.
But we're not thinking that it's other things. And so I had to coach him very carefully because I didn't want to break his heart or his happiness, but I didn't want him to dive off the deep end, so to speak. And
Yeah.
so what I did was I went and removed all my weapons out of my place, and I took him to my place because I didn't want to harm myself, grab it, or harm someone else, of course.
Right.
And I sat in the living room with a lamp on, read a book, and just watched him sleep. So my best advice to him that saved his life, that saved someone else's life, that made him really wake up, because love is fighting. It makes you do some crazy things
It's a
until he
drug.
found out what the real problem was. Yeah. So my best advice that turned his whole life, woke him up, was it's not worth it. The hardest thing that you can tell somebody, she's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm talking about all the things that his mind was contemplating doing.
That's even accurate with friendships. I had to say goodbye for the past few years for several dear friends, people who I thought in my heart really cared about me. And, along the way, you ignore the red flags, and then you realize they're called red flags for a reason, and I didn't know that these people,
the snakes are in the pit.
Right. And I didn't know, me really not being on the same level as many of my friends financially, I didn't know how badly they looked down on me for being poorer than them, and when it hit, it really hurt, but I had to say goodbye because I don't operate based on a person's income. I don't operate on how much money you have. I operate if we connect spiritually, emotionally, comically, and I could care less how much money you have.
Right. That doesn't make me or break me. But one of the best things that I could have done is give myself the gift of goodbye, not holding on to people, material things or whatever. I take it as a privilege. When I put you in my circle, you're definitely my friend.
Exactly. Yeah. That part, I'm like, I'm the coolest chick I know. And, if you don't like yourself, then you deal with all that other mess, but I don't deal with that mess because I love who I am, I can say peace.
Right.
See ya.
Right. And that has to be, a learned behavior because I'm so a giving person, and learning how to say no and goodbye were two of the best things I could do to continue my life with harmony, peace.
Yeah.
So I give that to myself.
Yeah.
I don't always operate on how society thinks you should be, society thinks you should act, and not things like that. Just go on, learn behaviors, the blessing of God, and move when God say move, and that's how I survive.
Other than hearing about your calling, so what is the best advice that someone has given you?
Well, I believe my mother, rest in peace, when I was in the street, she took me by my cheeks and she said, you can be whatever it is that you want to be. All you got to do is put your mind to it, try. Yeah. And I believe that. A lot of people don't make it out the hood, you know what I mean? And so I took that and I ran with it, and always kept faith. And so I just tried every profession I could that would, where I could eat. I've done so many things and worn so many hats. I'm ex-Navy, I'm ex-Army, it's still a lot of discipline in me. I've done everything from security from lower level to an extreme high level for Lockheed Martin, operations manager. And so I ran all the security for the Department of Defense. I've been a nurse in the ER room. I've been a paramedic for the MR. I've also flown air medevac with Mercier. I mean, I've worn so many hats. I've done everything. I've swung a hammer, painted houses, whatever it is that I could do, I did it. And so that was some amazing advice for you. Turn around a boy from a single parent, to
Yes.
not let the streets get him, but to instill something in him that he could believe in, that he could do it, you know. And another thing is, it's never too late to be what you might have been. And so that's where I'm
Yes.
at now. Some of the best advice was stick to something. He said, man, you know, make a path and leave a trail. You know what I mean? And but
Yeah.
those two things right there, for me, and dealing with this world, really helped me to become the man I am, baby.
Well, you are an amazing man. That is for sure. To go through all of those things that you've just named and to be this hell of an actor.
Right.
I mean, you know,
Well, thank
that's
you.
amazing.
Yes, yes. You can juggle the two. You know, you can juggle the two. Yeah, I'm doing it. You know, I'll sleep later. They call it burning the midnight oil. And you know plenty about that. I'll talk to you 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you working on projects. And so I don't know what it is. Is that the hour that things just click when the world is kind of still, you know?
Wait,
So
you know what?
yeah.
I realize it's when everybody is quiet and then I can think, you know, because I even try to set the
Hmm.
clock and tell
Right.
myself, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to bed at midnight. I did that last night. You want to know what time I went to bed? 5 a.m.
Doesn't happen.
5 a.m. this morning, I went to bed because I get into my edit mode.
You there?
I'm just
Right. You
editing
want
and
to
cutting. And then I see something
zone.
else. I'm in that zone and you can't stop
Yes,
until I
absolutely.
finish.
I know you got a pencil and pad next to you. Yeah, you got a pencil and pad right on that nightstand, and it just roll over and get it. So yeah, you're
I have
amazing.
three on
My
each
Lord.
side and one on the headboard.
Yeah.
But I want to thank
Well, I'm
you for
waiting for the
being my
day that you and I
guest.
once again, you know. Yeah, absolutely. I love the show. I haven't made many appearances, and so send me on your show. A lot of people will know I'm well. You know, you don't have
Yes,
the time to make the calls and the this and the that. And so you become kind of quarantined too, you know. And so I want everybody to know that I love you. I'm well. And so, you know, reach out to me like I don't reach out to you, but Danny D is alive and well and doing fine. Thank you.
looking good and
Okay.
making everybody else
Thank you
feel
so
bad
much.
about
And you look
losing
well.
weight.
You look. Well, you know, I didn't think I was going to get my pills no more. So I have to get to, you know, a point to where you don't need them. You become kind of dependent on certain medications the doctors say you need. But, you know, if you can move some of that fat over, you won't need it as much.
That part, that's what I say all the time. And that's why I'm like, every time I talk to one of my relatives and they're talking
Yeah,
about all their medications, and that just make me get activated to say, get your butt up and exercise because I'm
right.
not going out with all them damn meds. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I can't do the juices and the berries and the seaweed and turn my lifestyle around. No, I got to have some bacon and things, you know. Folks out, I can't do it, you know. Not knocking anybody else, but you know, I still, but my portions can come down some, and I can.
Yeah, in
That works for me.
moderation. Moderation. Yes, yes.
Yeah, everything you get, moderation.
Because I can't stand no fake turkey bacon.
You'll
I'm
see the change.
sorry.
It's coming, but you know it ain't gonna be next week. Can't do it. That's paper to me.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
like
I
paper.
got if I'm gonna eat bacon, this better be the real swine. It better be the real pig.
But absolutely, absolutely.
But again, so Yeah, just thank you for being here, and you're looking great, and you just inspired me because as soon as I cut this camera off, I'm going to hit my workout and get myself back down and
I'll get a bake.
yeah.
I'll make you some bacon. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Just moderation.
Hey,
Okay.
but I'm gonna work out so I don't start looking like bacon, and get it together like you.
Yeah, you gotta get the blood flowing.
Yeah.
Get the blood flowing. You can do that. Thanks so much.
But thank you for being here. And I appreciate you putting in your time and energy with me today. You are just a delight. And I want everybody to just look out for Danny Lloyd. He is a fantastic actor and person. And thank you for watching this episode of Ask Aunt Tricia.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Ask Aunt Tricia. Danny Lloyd is a phenomenal actor, and I want you all to Google him and look out for him because he is absolutely fantastic. And I'm sure once we're over this pandemic, he'll be back on somebody's stage in a play doing a fantastic role or in another commercial because he's been booking commercials lately. So Danny, thank you for being my guest. And I want to thank you all. Please remember to click like and share. Also hit that subscribe button. And thank you for watching. Have a good evening.